Yesterday, they signed Hansi Flick, didn't they, to a new contract. Deco was talking about that and was asked about transfer targets. He said, well, we like Luis Diaz and we like Rashford and we like other players. Out of respect, talking about players who are under contract with other clubs is complicated. Where we go to the market, there are names we know that could improve the team. Oh, Stevie, you must be apoplectic with your Liverpool ways that he's mentioned Luis Diaz and a possible move to Barcelona.
Not really.
Oh.
Why would he want to go to Barcelona and sit on the bench?
Oh.
So we can forget that.
Yeah.
Diaz isn't going to Barcelona.
You're not worried about that at all?
No.
Now, what about sporting directors talking about players in that way?
Yeah, I mean, he's. You shouldn't mention names, but he has. But he's kind of got away with it.
Right.
I think he's got away with it by what he added after mentioning both players.
Mark, why are we hearing so much speculation about Diaz's future?
It's been rumbling for about 12 months now.
Yeah.
I think Man City were looking at him for a while. It's probably a contract situation. I think Diaz has had a good 18 months, 2 years at Liverpool. And I think he's looked at other players like, Salah, Van Dijk, getting new deals. It's probably just a case of ego, thinking that he's approaching his late 20s now. He probably thinks that I'm the next one on the rank and it's not happened for him yet. So I guess it's just the usual noise of a player wanting a bit of love and his agent wanting to stir up the market by, suggesting that there's interest from elsewhere. And there will be interest. He's a top player, but I think that's what it boils down to. He's just a player that wants the same sort of treatment as some of his big teammates.
Meanwhile, for Marcus Rashford, Ian, where's the best fit for him?
I just think it's really funny, don't you, that Deco says, I'm not going to talk about players who are under contract to other players. He's just named two of them, didn't he? It's Diaz and Rashford. So, that almost sounds like a kind of come and get me thing. Rashford, I don't know, who can afford his wages? Right. Who's going to pay that kind of money? And there'd always be that thing in the background. Is he going to go back to being the difficult player he was to handle in the end at Manchester United?
Rashford, I've got a feeling I'm going to be asking you a lot this summer about where he's going to go.
Listen, the Barcelona thing has been going since January. I must admit, I was very sceptical of Barcelona for Marcus Rashford in January for a lot of reasons. The fact that, one, I don't think he was, at the time, or even now, good enough for Barcelona. But also, we know that Barcelona are having problems registering players. But the interest is still there. And I think, from United's perspective, it would be the dream scenario because they're going to have to pay Marcus Rashford to leave, basically. But if Barcelona are genuine, that is a deal that might convince Marcus Rashford to take his own pay cut to go there. So, from a financial point of view, for United, Rashford to Barcelona, they'll pay a fee, and it might be big enough for him to say, I don't want to let this chance pass. I will sacrifice, a third of my United wages to go to Barcelona. So that would be a great move for Rashford, a great move for United, and from Barcelona's perspective, they're getting a good player that might actually thrive in that environment.
Meanwhile, big news coming out of Spain today. Luka Modric will play his last game at the Santiago Bernabeu this weekend in the final match of La Liga season. He will play in the Club World Cup, and that'll be his Real Madrid career then done. It's an incredible resume, of course, sitting quite rightly at the top. 6 Champions League titles. This is what Real Madrid said. Real Madrid would like to express its gratitude and deep affection for the man who's already one of the greatest legends of our club and of world football. Ian and Mark are still with us. It's quite something, isn't it, Stevie, when Real Madrid come out and accept that he is one of the legends of the club when you look at the list of the players that have played there?
Yeah, I mean, an absolute coach's dream. A guy that you know exactly what you're going to get from and some. He's not only what he does on the field, he's clearly one of the leaders in the dressing room. And to play for Real Madrid and be amongst some other fantastic players, and you, as much as anybody else, has contributed to, 25 major titles?
Yeah.
That's scary.
One thing that's very likeable as well about Modric is the fact that it almost looks like it's his first season sometimes.
Yeah.
When Real Madrid goes on those Champions League runs, those big wins at the end, he's the one at the front and centre leading the celebrations, almost like a kid.
Quite clearly enjoys what he does so much. And it's a joy to see. And every time I see Luka Modric, and one of the things that just kind of stands out for me is in watching Luka Modric play, he's such an incredible technician. He makes things look so simple that you sit back and think, wow, that was easy. I could do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know Luka Modric is without question one of the best footballers this generation has seen. He's been a part of one of the best teams this generation has seen. has been an important part in key moments as well. And at the same time, to your point, just plays the game with such a smile, with such enjoyment. Never seems to be embroiled in anything controversial. I mean, it is just, it really has been a privilege just to see how he has progressed and enjoy his football.
And something
I need to apologise to him.
You're 28, yeah?
Yeah, it's 28. Sorry,
soon,
sorry, Luca. Forgive me.
I don't think anyone took you seriously.
That was a shock.
Ian, something else that epitomises how well respected he is, not only amongst Real Madrid fans, but when you go to other La Liga grounds and he's subbed off, he gets an ovation from those supporters as well because he is so liked.
Yeah, I mean, he's an ambassador. He's one of the great players of the modern era. You know, the guys have said it. Pass master, the very model of a modern midfield general. And I've spoken to players who were with him when he was at Tottenham, and they say how strong he was. So brilliantly professional, just couldn't shake him off the ball, always picked the right pass. And, you know, that list of trophies that he's won, that will take some surpassing. And, of course, he won the Ballon d'Or in 2018. That year, Croatia got to the World Cup final and he just broke that Messi-Ronaldo run of Ballon d'Ors, and he fully deserved that. And, of course, if those two hadn't been around, I think he would have won one or two more as well. Still playing this season at the age of 39, and he's featured in nearly every Real Madrid game.
It's interesting, Mark, because when he was signed to Real Madrid, it wasn't as Galactico. In fact, one of the newspapers did a poll and the majority thought it was a waste of money. But boy, did he prove them wrong.
Yeah, and I suppose, you know, with Toni Kroos going last year and Modric this time, it really is the end of an era, and the new crop of players have got to live up to it. And I don't see who can replace Modric. Nobody's replaced Kroos. Nobody can replace Modric. And what stands out for me, I was in Moscow in 2018 when they played England in the semi-final, and England took the lead, but then Modric just took hold of the game. And I've never seen a player dominate a game like he did, just at such... Like the guys are saying, he wasn't very strong, wasn't very quick, but he just had so much time on the ball. He cut England to ribbons, dominated the possession, the tempo, and that's what he does. He's such a great player, and I think he is impossible to replace. And it'll be interesting to see how Real try to do it, but I just don't see how they do.
Yeah, big summer, isn't it, for Real Madrid coming up.